it just didn't work out. And so I became very bitter towards the song. And I was like, I hate this song. I'm never putting it out. And it went viral. And like the next couple of weeks, I like signed a record deal and then a publishing deal. And it like changed my life. Like that song fully changed my life. Heartbreak can really turn into something incredible.
What's going on, everyone? It's me, Dom. Welcome back to Dom Meets World. Hope you've been enjoying the podcast so far. This week on the show, I'm joined by the one and only JORDY, an amazing musician, amazing songwriter. And today we're going to be talking about relationships as a music inspiration, just like how relationships affect your music. But first, once again, my show, Dom Meets World. Let's talk about me interacting in the world. Let's talk about me trying to figure out how the hell to date, because where the hell do you meet people? I'm not a dating app person. I've been on a dating app once. It was Tinder. I was working at this place called the Drake Hotel in Toronto. And my buddy was like, you gotta get on a dating app, dude. We took pictures, put it on, made my profile. First swipe was a match, and it was my coworker. And then we dated for 3.5 years. So that was kind of like, all right, I kind of won. I kind of, I did it. I won first swipe. I feel like, you got to know when to, what's that song? You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. Do you not know that song? Does anyone, Joe, do you know that song? Yeah. Everyone else was like, yeah, very famous song. Yeah, we all know that song. Yeah, hell yeah, goddamn Kenny Rogers, man. But yeah, I just like, I'm 1-0. I'm undefeated, other than getting then the whole breakup. But like it was a success. Wow, why can't I say words? It's a successful relationship off a dating app, and there's too many. There's like Tinder, which I've heard through the grapevine is just like just hookups. Like Tinder is just like kind of, you just go on there for fun. Heard Hinge is more serious. And then there's Raya, which is like, here's my thing about Raya, right? And I know Spence has gone off about this, and I'm not going off about the application process, but I am about my own application. I don't care to apply. But like, how does one determine who gets on Raya? Because there's sometimes like, oh, I'm on Raya, and I'm like, okay, I'm not saying like, because I'm nobody, and like in my sense, everybody's just a human, but like, you work at Banana Republic. Why are you on, like, I'm just like, you're just too good for Hinge now? You're just like, like, I couldn't see myself applying to Raya, because like, I'm not like, you know what, man, this dating scene is crazy. I need Angelina Jolie. Also, on top of that, I'm just not buying the Raya thing of when people are like, oh yeah, like I talked to like Devin Booker from like the Phoenix Suns. I'm like, why would Devin Booker have a dating app? Why is Devin Booker on Raya? Or like Bad Bunny? Why is Bad Bunny on Raya? Like that to me, I'm like, okay, I'm never finding a partner. If Bad Bunny has to go on Raya, what? You're Bad Bunny. You could literally hop in anyone's DMs and just be like, hola. And then it's like, then you're imagine if Bad Bunny just like hopped in your DMs and just sent you a voice and was like, VIP. You're going. I just feel like this is so easy for you. Why'd you go through? I just can't picture Bad Bunny sitting down on like his couch and going through his camera roll and like putting, what's your favorite movie? What's your favorite quote? Give me a bio. Like imagine Bad Bunny writing a bio. What's your bio? Oh yeah, I'm Bad Bunny. Yeah, we know you're fucking Bad Bunny. Like, why are you sitting down writing a like, I don't know. Go to a party with the Kardashians. You'll find somebody there that. I think I have a conspiracy theory that they pay these celebrities to put a fake profile to make you think that Raya is like this elite dating app when it's actually not. I would love for anyone that watches this, to prove me wrong and tell me that you dated un VIP Bad Bunny. I'd welcome it. Prove me wrong. Send me. I won't show it. Just DM me a photo with like you and Leonardo DiCaprio, or you and Pete Davidson, off of Raya. Just like give me some sort of proof, and I'll do whatever you want. That's within reason. I'm not gonna like hide a body for you or something, but like I'll Cash App you $5. They don't know that I'm Canadian. I can't do that. We don't have Cash App. They're gonna be like, yeah. They're gonna be like, what? They're gonna be like, oh, he's gonna Cash App me. Oh no, I won't use Cash App. I'll Venmo you $5. I can't have Venmo. I'm Canadian. I can't use Venmo. They're gonna be like, here it is. You gotta Venmo me $5. Be like, I'm Canadian, bitch. You're never getting paid. Anyways, enjoy the episode. VIP. Today, as I mentioned, I'm joined by JORDY. You might know him from his 2018 single Just Friends, which has over 20 million streams. His viral song, Long Distance, or his sophomore album, Boy. The record was preceded by the lead single, Story of a Boy, which samples 9 Days era-defining 2000 hit, Absolutely. This is the story of a girl. Please welcome to the show, JORDY.
Yay! What's up?
What's going on, man?
Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for coming on. You're totally just like killing me right now.
No, I was telling you, like all of the videos I saw of you, I was like, all right, this guy knows how to dress, so I need to come in. Like, I need to come in looking cute.
You probably started early on. I've gotten just cozier and cozier as the episodes have gone along. I'm just like shorts, baggy tees, feet. I started like slouching now.
No, it's a look.
We get cozy.
I like the comfort. I like the cozy comfort vibe.
Yeah, this is slowly just becoming like my second home. Actually, kind of like my main home, essentially.
I love it.
This couch is more comfortable than the air mattress I sleep on.
I love it.
Yeah. Let's see the nails.
Oh, well, okay.
What we got going on?
So actually, I usually get my nails done
Yeah.
because I'm just bad.
Mm-hmm.
So this was like a quick at home, like my own nail polish kind of thing because I had a show last weekend and I was like, I need to have my nails painted.
Yeah.
But I didn't have time to get them done. The show was in Reno. And it was so hot that when I walked off stage, like the nail polish had like melted off of my fingers.
Off of your nail beds.
So now they look a little crusty, but you know.
No, but I like that.
That's like the vibe.
Yeah, that's the vibe I used to rock.
It's like I don't care.
Yeah.
You know?
I can't do that anymore. That was my vibe before. Like I actually had to do that a lot for like my reality shows because we didn't have like a nail tech, so I'd paint my own nails.
Yeah.
And I like the chip look. And then my nails kind of became my thing, and I can't go back now.
Oh, same. I need them done.
Yeah, it's gotten not even that. I don't even need them done. It's like they just became like people were like, I got like Harry Potter nails. We were like, oh my gosh, we want Powerpuff Girl nails. I got Powerpuff Girl nails.
That's
and then
fun.
It was like, then Barbie movie came out. Like, get Barbie nails.
Are those
like,
stickers or
no? These are hand drawn.
Oh,
this
wow.
is like 2 hours.
Shit, those look dope.
Yeah.
Good work.
Yeah, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. I just sat there. So how's everything?
Everything's good. Everything is good. You know. I was touring like from April like till kind of last weekend. So now I'm back in LA.
Yeah.
And it feels really nice to be home. You know, being on the road is definitely, it's such an amazing thing as an artist, and it's such a cool way to like connect with fans and feel like productive as a creative. Mm-hmm. But it's isolating for sure. It can be lonely on the road, you know?
Yeah, just bouncing from place to place.
Yeah.
Do you have any favorite spots that you liked? Any favorite cities when you go on tour?
Someone in my original band is from DC, and so every time we go to DC, we stay at his house, and it's fun because like we'll finish the show and we'll get back to his place. It's like 1 a.m. and we'll go to like the monuments at night, and it's like completely quiet, nobody's there, and we'll just like scooter around, and it's like kind of fun.
Yeah.
So DC's always like a good time. New York, LA. I'm from Chicago, so playing Chicago is always fun because it's a hometown show. But yeah, no, it's also fun to like drive through like random like little parts of the country that like I otherwise wouldn't be able to see if I wasn't touring. So yeah, you get to see a lot of everything on the road. But
does like touring, like in terms of your music, do you find when you get off tour, you have a little bit more like inspiration to create, or do you feel like drained? Does it take you a moment to get back into that kind of?
It takes a moment for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's like like there's so much adrenaline when you're playing shows every single night in front of like large groups of people, and it's like one after another, like driving to and from, and then you get home and you're like in your room and it's quiet and you're like, what am I doing here? It's very weird coming back from tour. So it usually takes me like a couple of days to like recoup and get my energy together, and then I guess now I'm like in this like chapter where I'm kind of ready to start like writing again and making new stuff, and I'm excited about that. So.
Do you write everything on your own? Do you have like a team?
I write everything on my own. I definitely have like collaborators who like I work with. I love collaboration. I think, you know, songwriting for me is such a special thing, just because obviously, you know, I'm like telling my stories and my experiences, and I love writing so much. But I also have like really talented friends who are so good at what they do. And it's awesome just to be able to like bounce ideas off of each other in the room. And some songs have come out of like amazing conversations you have just like in the studio that day. And so I love working with my friends, and I feel really lucky that I get to do that. So
when did you start making music?
I put out my first song in 2018. And I had always been a singer. Like I grew up like performing and singing. I did choir and like theater and stuff. And then when I graduated college, I had just gotten out of like a relationship and had a lot of things to say. And I was like, this is my time to start like making original stuff. So I moved to LA and moved in with a writer, and he was kind of like my way of learning about, you know, the community here and writing songs and sessions and that kind of thing. And again, came fresh out of a relationship, which definitely gave me a lot of inspiration to start writing music at first.
Do you want to hear a hilarious story about how I wrote my first song?
Please.
It was in grade 9. Right?
Okay.
It was in grade 9. I got suspended my first week of grade 9.
I'm ready.
For lighting myself on fire. Now, let me set the scene. Not literally. It wasn't like gasoline, like, you know what I mean, like lighter fluid. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't on some like that type of stuff. It was more like, you know, funny, quirky, pyromaniac type stuff, right?
Got it. Yeah.
So if you have like a lighter and you spray it, and like you spray it with Axe, it's like a little flamethrower thing.
Sure. Yes.
So I would spray my leg, and if you light it, like the oil goes on fire. So I would spray my leg with Axe, light it on fire, spray my friend's chest with like Axe, and I would kick him in the chest, and it would like explode. And it was at a time when like YouTube was like, you know, kind of like at its like peak or whatever like that. So we made a YouTube video, put it out. But we did this all on school property because we were like inspired by Jackass. We're like, let's make a Jackass video. It was called D's House of Fire. And it was like, you couldn't really see me because it was like a shitty camera. It was like shitty quality anyways. My principal's son saw it, showed my principal, and then I got suspended.
No!
So when I got suspended, it was a bunch of us that got suspended. So I would like, my mom always went to work, so I would leave, go to my friend's house, and he had Fruity Loops that his older cousin has. And he just started playing these drums. I was like, doom, 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 doom. And I was like, this is it. If anyone knows me from high school, they're going to know this song because it's like, it was.
What was it called?
It was called YouTube.
YouTube.
And the chorus was like, chilling with my friends. Ain't got shit to do. So I light myself on fire and I put it on YouTube.
Hey.
Put it on YouTube. Put it on YouTube.
Let's go.
And we made like a little music video of me like in a shopping cart going through the lawn, and then they would like push me down a hill and I would hit the tree.
Sounds like a hit to me.
Yeah, it was just a cycle of like me getting suspended, making a song, and then coming back, and then getting suspended for making a video to the song. It was like a solid like 3 months of.
Wait,
like,
did the Axe video like go viral? Was that like a viral YouTube video?
It was like 3,000 views, which back in the day, that's like three different high schools. Like, I was known like in my neighborhood, like, oh, you're like all the older kids like, oh, you're the kid that set yourself on fire, right? Yes. And I'm like, that's me.
That's me.
What's up, seniors? Like, that's me, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm outside.
I think that song needs to resurface, and I think you should re-release it.
No, everything that I've ever made before like 2020, no one will ever hear.
I feel that there was like a first project that was under like a different name.
Yeah.
And when I moved here, I was like, I think I'm gonna take that down and just like start fresh.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
No one's ever gonna hear some of those records.
Yeah, no, but it's part of the journey.
Yeah.
You need those records to like make the stuff that you're making now. It's just a part of the journey.
Oh yeah, you gotta put in your 10,000 hours. Yeah. I remember the first actual song I made, like you said, like came from like heartbreak.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say most of my discography is inspired by heartbreak or like being alone and like single and figuring it out. There's like occasionally like there's like a couple of love songs that I have on my project, and they're really special and I love them. But I think it's interesting because I've had a conversation like with other creatives about this, and I'm like curious about your thoughts as well. But I feel like sad people cannot relate to happy songs, but happy people can relate to sad songs. So it's easier to write about like something that hurts or something that's painful, because even happy people can look back on a time that they were sad and be like, oh, I used to feel that way. I relate to that.
Yeah.
But when you're like a sad person going through it, it's so hard to listen to a love song and not feel like bitter about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, even if some of my songs like sound happy, I like putting in like realer, kind of raw, like sadder lyric, because I think at the end of the day, like everybody can relate to those feelings.
Yeah.
Whereas like not everybody is in love and not everybody is like happy all the time.
Yeah.
And it's harder to relate to that when you're in like a sad space, if that makes sense.
No, it does. Like with me and my band, we have this thing called the campfire test.
Okay.
So even if we make a song that's like really upbeat and like we had one song that's like 80 synths kind of deal, and it sounded like fun. It sounded like you want to dance this. It was called F It Up.
Okay.
But we do the campfire test, which is like you take a song, and if you could play it on acoustic guitar and it still sounds good, then it's a good song.
I love that.
And every time we take one of those songs and put on acoustic, it's sad as shit.
It's true. No, I actually I agree with that. I feel like if it sounds good, like stripped on a guitar, like you know that like you know that like the body of the song is like good on its own, you know.
Yeah, the campfire test. If you can sit in a
love
circle and like around a campfire,
test.
and it still sounds good,
Let's do it.
that we say that's a hit.
That's a hit.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't have any hits yet. So
Hey,
the test is
We got
it's still, we're still figuring out,
as I said,
the results of that,
You're making stuff, and that's the most important thing, and the time will come,
Yeah.
It's definitely like it's a grind. It's a grind for sure.
Oh, 100%. You said you work with a band as well?
I guess.
Or you tour with a band?
I tour with like a drummer and a guitar player.
Okay.
But yeah. And I love them. They're really cool, and it's fun to, I don't know, make memories together on the road,
Your current dating life. What's going on with that?
Dating life.
You seen anybody single?
Single for
field?
sure.
Yeah.
Single for sure. Yeah, I mean, touring makes dating really hard, I think. Like, now I'm back in LA and I'm like here for a bit. So a part of me is like, all right, Jordy, like get out there, like make your moves, like put energy into like trying to meet people. But I've been single for a long time. I mean, I've definitely had like my flings, my like almost loves kind of vibes. But yeah, no, it's been a really long time. And I think, when I moved to LA, I was like, I'm coming here to work. I'm coming here to chase my dream. I'm coming here to like get shit done. And, I feel like that has taken priority over the past couple of years. But I do feel ready to start dating again. Definitely I've had my fair share of like experiences over the years that have like turned me away from like apps and like that kind of stuff. I think I just got sick and tired of like giving a stranger like my time. Like I feel like the older you get, the more you realize like how precious your time and your energy is. And so when you're like swiping on Tinder and you're like meeting random people and it's like continuously disappointing, it's like, why am I giving people I don't know like my time and energy? Like I would rather be using this time to like hang out with my friends or like do something on my own and enjoy my time. And so I took like a break from like going on dates from apps for a little bit, and it's like the love-hate relationship. Like obviously like I've downloaded them again. I'm like trying to get into it again because it's like how like it's hard to meet people, you know what I mean? But I guess that's just the world we live in right now.
Your DMs aren't just like littered with
well,
potential?
I've learned I have gotten DMs and I have responded to some of those DMs. And actually, one of my most popular songs was born out of a relationship that started over an Instagram DM, and it just didn't end up working in my favor. It was okay. So backstory.
Set the scene.
in the pandemic, we're all lonely and like scared for our life, just like at home, just chilling, you know? And I get a DM from this guy, and he lived in Philadelphia. I'm in LA, but he was like, I think you're cute and I like your music and yada, yada. And, you know, pandemic brain was like, attention. I love this.
Yeah.
This feels good, you know? And so I responded and I was like, thanks. And we just had a little back and forth, and then we kept chatting, and I don't know, we had like a good banter, started FaceTiming a little bit, and it just turned into this like thing. And like every day we would FaceTime, and I was really developing feelings for this person. I wrote a song called Long Distance that was kind of like a love story, which is funny because I feel like a lot of long distance songs are like, long distance is so hard and it's hard being away from you. But I was actually like, I'd rather be distant with someone who makes me feel this way than like not feel good with someone who's like next to me, kind of thing. And I wrote the song, and I was so proud of it. I was so excited about it. I ended up booking a flight to see this boy during the pandemic across the country. We meet. It's amazing. I play him the song. He loved it, and we had a great time. And then I got back to LA, and like a week or two later, he was basically like, I don't think that we're aligning. And he basically was like, I feel like you have too many needs. He was kind of like gaslighting me a little bit, and it wasn't that chill, and it made me super upset, and we ended up, it just didn't work out. And so I became very bitter towards the song, and I was like, I hate this song. I'm never putting it out. And then a couple months later, I was like bored one night, and I was like, I wonder what TikTok will think of this little demo that I have about this long distance boy. And I posted it, and it went viral. And like the next couple weeks, I like signed a record deal and then a publishing deal. And it like changed my life. Like that song fully changed my life. And I also think that because it was during the pandemic, like a lot of people were long distance. So it like made sense like with the times.
Yeah.
But heartbreak can really turn into something incredible. And it did for me. And I'm like super grateful for that. And people love the song, and I love the song now too. It's a huge part of my story. So thank God he broke my heart, because otherwise I wouldn't be here.
Do you think that like he saw that song blowing up and he's like, shit?
Yes.
Like,
He definitely did. He definitely saw it.
Yeah.
I got messages. And yeah, there was even a time where he was like in Philly when I was playing a show there on tour, and he was like, can I, like, I would love to come to the show, like if you'd have me, like, but it's all good if like you don't want me to. And I was like, don't come, dude. Yeah. Honestly, don't come.
Yeah,
like, I'd rather you not.
You hit the glow up. You know what I'm saying? You got the perfect glow up.
You know, and he was like, okay. So I was like,
good. Do you have a lot of songs that are about people? Like different people?
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely. I mean, my first ex, like a lot of those earlier songs were about him. Even some new songs on my new album are about him. You know, just 5 years later, still writing about the same person, you know? Gotta do it. How
specific do you get with like your song lyrics? Like someone like for example, like someone like 1975, like Matty Healy. You know what I'm saying? He's very specific with his imagery, and
totally.
Like to that extent, do you feel like if like someone would know when you're talking about them?
100%.
Yeah.
I actually feel like very passionate about being specific in lyrics. I was in Sweden like 4.5 years ago, and it was like this weird thing where I had just moved to LA like a year before, but my first song was like doing kind of well, and someone over in Sweden discovered it, and he ended up managing me for a little bit, and he flew me out there to like do some writing sessions, and it was amazing. And there's a song of mine called Close to You that's another one of my more popular songs as well. And I wrote it about that first ex. And when I was in the studio with my good friends now, who I was just meeting then, you know, we were talking about like this feeling of, you know, feeling close to your ex and then feeling not close enough. And it's like when you're too far, like you start to miss them. But when you get too close, it's like, this is too much and I can't handle it emotionally. And so we wrote a song called Close to You that kind of talks about that weird space, like post breakup. And there was a moment in the session where I wanted to talk about like this specific diner that we would eat at, me and my ex, like every Sunday, called Union, that was in this neighborhood in Boston that I used to live in. And I brought it up. I was like, can we say like union as like the place that like we're talking about like in this song?
Yeah.
Because I feel like what if like people aren't going to know what that is? And my co-writers were like, well, when you go into a movie and it's not like portraying like your own experience, do you walk out of the movie or do you continue watching the movie because you're experiencing someone else's story? And I was like, that's a good point. They were like, put it in, because I think the more specific you are, even if somebody hasn't been there, the more able they will be at like connecting to the feeling behind that lyric, if that makes sense. So I'm all about specificity. Like say the real things, because I think it makes it like that much more like intriguing as a listener.
Oh, 100%. And I also feel like I love when I hear a song and I just don't know what anything is. Mm-hmm. It just makes it that much more like. It took me forever to figure out where Boulder was from that Chainsmokers song.
Oh,
my roommate. I'm like, where the is Boulder?
Yeah,
like, Colorado. Is that right?
Is it in Colorado? Is correct. Boulder's in Colorado.
Geography.
Let's go.
I'm learning
Geography.
Yeah, but I feel like, especially with songwriting, and at least I don't know. I was thinking about this the other day, and maybe you could relate to it. Someone that like you base a lot of your songwriting through relationships. Me personally, I look at my older music and it was a lot of like anger and like a lot of blame on other people. But as I look through everything I've written and all the songs that have come out, I could see my growth as a person and like, oh, at this point I'm starting to take accountability and I'm becoming more self-aware. I'm more patient. I'm more calm when I speak about my relationships. Just more understanding in a way. Like, I don't know, it's felt like music's been my way to process my emotions, and I've grown through that.
Totally.
Do you feel like that as well? Like there's like a timeline, it's like a diary timeline of your relationships or how you dealt with them in a sense. Do you feel like it's changed?
I mean, for sure. And I was just going to say, it's like you need to write those angry songs to like get to a point where you feel like not as angry anymore. You know, it's like this is our space to like release those feelings and, you know, to put out that energy because we hold it inside, you know? And so being able to write and evolve, I think, yeah, like that's totally a part of the journey. I feel like it's fun to look back at like my earlier songs and like look at the order I was releasing stuff and look at like the meaning behind so many of these songs and hearing the growth and hearing like, yeah, like the evolution. Like I'm in such a different place now than I was in 2018. And even though like I'm still like single, I feel like I've learned so much about myself. And even like these little flings along the way, it's like it really reminds you like, you know, like what you deserve and what you should know you deserve and how you shouldn't settle for shit. And it's cool to look back on like this new album and hear the way that I'm like talking about that older relationship, where there are other songs that might come from more of like an angrier place, you know? Yeah,
because you grew as a person.
Yeah.
Do you go to therapy?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Very much. Like twice a week.
Yeah. And sometimes I go to therapy and then I'm like with my band stuff and I'm like, I kind of lost my edge. Kind of lost my sauce a little bit, lost that angst.
Like know? You're saying like you like therapy was like too good and you lost the spice that you would have otherwise brought into like a song like or something.
Exactly. Yeah.
I see what you mean. No, totally.
It's like I start getting angry and I'm like, nah, but I can see your perspective. You know what I'm saying? I can take accountability at that point.
You're like, don't be so nice.
Yeah. And it's like, damn, like I want to get that out, but nah, I can see why she would feel that way.
You know, and hey, I mean, it's like you can hold on to that original energy, or maybe it inspires a new song, a new perspective. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you ever find also like I go through this a lot where like I'll date somebody like I'm dating someone now and like things will happen. I'm like I spoke about this before, but let's like maybe like something bad happens on a date or I don't know how things stand with each other, whatever like that. Sure. And I'm like, oh, I really want this to work out. But at the same time, I'm like, this is good content.
Oh,
this is good. This is good stuff.
Oh no, no, it's like that's like the artist curse.
Yeah,
it's like this sucks, but will it make a good song? Probably.
Yeah, exactly.
And that sucks.
So you go for the kiss and they lean away a little bit, and it's like that's gonna be a great lyric.
Yeah, no, totally. No, that's so true. I think and that's why I'm like. Am I just like keeping myself single so that I have like things to write about and experiences to write about? Because I'm like, I don't want to be in a happy relationship yet. Like, I'm not ready to
Yeah,
write the love songs just yet. Like, I need someone to me up, like just like 1 or 2 more times.
Yeah.
And then I'll be ready. You know what I mean? But I want to stay angry just like for a little bit.
Yeah, just give me. I need to stay broken.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And that's a song.
Yeah, it's exactly.
That's a song right there.
I was talking to this girl, and then like, I'm not gonna get into details. But she said something, and she's like, you know, it's not me, like it's not you, like it's just like the vibes are off. And I was like, I could work with that. That's a bar. I could work with
you're
that.
You're like
burn,
but
yeah, I could work with that.
This will make me money one day.
And then like, and then she's like, what are you thinking about? I'm like nothing. Open my notes app right quick. It's not you. It's the vibes are just off. What rhymes with off?
No, yes.
No,
that's literally, yes, that's it.
Yeah.
No, it's good. I mean, and that's honestly, I do love that about what we do. And like, I love that about songwriting is that some of my favorite songs and even some of like my happiest sounding songs have come out of like pure heartbreak and like really like shitty feelings. And it's so cool to be able to like channel that and make something beautiful and walk out like feeling like so good about yourself, you know? Like that's so special.
Yeah, I feel like that's like, even with songwriting, being creative, like even in life, it's like when you go through a breakup, it just ignites this thing in you where you just like, I just want to get better.
Totally.
Like even people that like, they go through a breakup and they're like, I'm gonna start going to the gym.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna pick up a new hobby. I'm gonna start playing guitar. And like you just dedicate all that time because like, I feel like it's like you feel, at least for me, it's like you feel so not worthy and deserving. And it's like, no, I want to feel worthy. I got broken up with. I had my grieving period, and it's like, no, I want to get better. I want to make something out of this.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
100%.
So that it counts.
Yes. And I always say this, like, because obviously there are days where like I love being single, and there's days where it's like harder, and it's like a partner would be cool to have and someone to share all of this with. But I think I just like remind myself that, you know, if being in like a long-term relationship is like something I see like in my path and something like I know will happen at some point, it's like, take advantage of this time we have alone. You know what I mean? Because before you know it, like you're going to fall in love and you're going to be with someone, and that's going to be your life, and that's going to be beautiful and amazing. But if you're alone now, like even if it feels painful sometimes, like just remember that like it's temporary, and you might as well take advantage of this time where you only have to worry about yourself. Like I truly believe that I wouldn't necessarily be here if it wasn't for me being single over these years, because I feel like I've been my priority, and I've been able to focus on bettering myself and bettering my art and all of that. And, you know, I'm grateful for this time I've been able to have to myself. And so I don't know, it's just being single can be super hard, but just like knowing that, you know, just trusting the process and taking advantage of this time, I think is something people should definitely remember to do.
Oh, 100%.
You know?
Do you feel like, and like all jokes aside at this point, but do you ever feel as though you want that companionship? Like, are you ever like yearning for that? Like, obviously, like you're grinding and you're single and you're doing your thing, but like, do you see yourself at a point being like, I do eventually want to settle down and
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, no, totally. Even now, like I'm in a phase where I'm like, I think I'm like ready for something if someone comes along. I think that there was a period of my life where I was like really insecure with myself and really just like uncomfortable with being with myself alone. And so I was like serially dating. Like I was just going on so many dates, and it ended up causing such like a burnout. And I just feel like I was dating just to date. And I feel like it feels good to be at a place in my life where I don't feel the need to be like dating all the time, because I actually like enjoy the time I have with myself. But I definitely have this mindset where I'm like, if somebody like comes along and it, you know, there's a vibe and it makes sense, I would love for that to happen for sure. But I'm kind of just like letting life happen, you know? It's like not something we should force. I think it's just like trusting that it'll come when it's meant to come.
Yeah. One line I like is it's called falling in love for a reason. You know, you never fall on purpose.
Nobody does.
You know, you just slip up and you're like, oh shit, I'm in love.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on name dropping people in songs? Have you ever done that before?
Oh yeah, I've done that before. Done that a few times.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't work out well. What do you think about this? Have you ever done this before? The classic voicemail.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there's a couple of like voice notes on my new album for sure. I guess not from like an ex or like that kind of thing. But I do like incorporating those like real life sounds like into the music because I feel like it like just brings the listener closer to like your actual experience.
Mm-hmm.
Did you like put in a voice?
I used my ex's voice
Really?
in the song.
That's dope.
It didn't go well.
That's a power move. She was pissed.
Yeah. She was pissed.
I mean, I can't imagine she'd be happy about it.
Not. But I was like, it wasn't like she was angry. I was like, it was a cute little voice note. But in the song, I do say some pretty angry shit. Yeah.
You know, you do what you got to do. I feel like when you date a creative, like you're signing up for some shit.
Yeah.
Like,
it was like one of those things where like we had, like I was like talking about, I'm like, I have this voice note. They're like, you want to put it in? Because they know her too. Like, you sure, dude? I'm like, yeah, do it.
Just do it.
Put it at the end of the song, man. I don't know. I feel like if I were to ever get like a voicemail from someone, I'd be like, you up.
Yeah, no, I'm saving this.
Never leave me.
Yeah.
This is going to be a #1 hit.
No, it's true. I mean, it's like to all the boys who have dated me, who now have songs written about them and they know, like, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. You know, it's just what I do.
Have you name dropped?
I have. Actually, one of my favorite songs of mine on my first album is called Trevor. And it's about a real boy named Trevor. And it's a love song, actually. I was like super infatuated by this guy. And there's this thing in the queer community called gay panic where you are looking at someone and you're like, do I like want you or do I want to be you? You know what I mean? It's like a very confusing thing. And maybe it's a little bit of both, but I was like infatuated with this guy and I was so like intrigued by like his chillness and his way of just like looking so cool and like not caring. And I was like, I wish I could like not care as much, but I'm such an anxious person, but I wish I could just be like carrying myself like that. And I was like, I want you and I want to be you. And in the session, I remember like talking about this feeling and like suddenly I like got like this melody for the chorus and it like I sang his name, Trevor. And I like looked at my friends who I was writing the song with and I was like, can I do this? And they were like, I don't know, but I think you should. I was like, I'm doing it. So we did it and it came out and it's one of my favorite songs of mine. And he heard the song and he loves the song. What was funny though is that like it basically like I wrote the song and then it didn't end up working out between us because he kind of like screwed up a little bit. And so I think he felt bad because like I wrote this like great song about him and then he was like, I like ruined my chance at like having something with him or whatever it was. I mean, it clearly was not meant to be, but he sent me flowers the day the album came out, which I thought was very sweet.
That's really nice.
He said that he did love the song. So, yeah, Trevor, that's one of my faves.
Yeah.
Real boy.
Shout out Trevor.
Shout out to Trevor.
Yeah. I name dropped the voice note after a breakup and then saw her in person. She was like, what the was that? And I was like, and guess what else? I'm on a fucking dating show.
Right? Yeah, let's go.
And then she puts on Netflix and just sees me like saying I love you to different people. And I'm like, yeah, what's up now?
Wait,
and then I got dumped by all of them.
Did any songs come out of that experience? Is there anything that you've written that was like based off of like any of those relationships?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's actually one song. I won't name drop here. But there's actually one song. I went to the studio right after filming that. I was on a FaceTime with somebody, and I was like, hey, I'm in the studio. Like, do you want to say something to the mic or whatever like that? She's like, yeah, of course I do. And I was like, okay. And she said some stuff, and then we, like, used that in, like, this, like, it's like this Blink-182, like, song, and we used her voice on it. And and we're, like, sitting on it, and I'm like, I don't know if I could use this. A lot of drama happened afterwards. I'm like, I don't know if I can. I'm like, once you're on a dating show, it's like everything becomes like like heightened. You know?
Oh, for sure.
I can't do the same name drop shit.
That is very true.
Yeah,
like the internet could come for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that.
Like if I name drop here, it's all hell breaks loose on Reddit.
Yeah, gotta be careful. No, I feel that. I feel that.
But a lot of good music did come from that though.
Oh, good.
It inspired a lot of shit.
I'm glad. I'm glad.
Would you ever go on a dating show?
Would I ever go on a dating show? I think I would go on a dating show. Yeah. If it was
Which
like,
one?
ooh, that's a really good question. Which one would I want to go on? Well, it's hard because I'm like, there's not a ton of like gay dating shows. There needs to be more gay dating shows. So that needs to happen first. So like networks, get your shit together. Let's go. Let's
pick a dating show and then make it queer.
Just make it queer. Ooh, I almost want to say Love Is Blind because
you just want to get married.
Well, actually, no. Wait, you're so right. I'm like, I forget that it's like marriage immediately with that show. Yeah, that is a little scary. But I do like that idea of like meeting someone without seeing them first. I just think that that's like fun. I would maybe be cool to experience. Something like Love Island would probably give me like a lot of anxiety, I think.
I feel like Love Island would be like the shit.
Because it's like, well, yeah, I know, but it's like yeah.
Because you're not like really doing anything.
You're just like chilling.
You're kind of just like
by the pool.
Just kind of at the villa, mate.
Yeah, at the villa.
In it.
Yeah.
It's basically just like if like Love Island to me just seems like if you're just like hot, you're just like drinking, just kind of vibe.
Chill.
Yeah. Just kind of just. You know what I mean?
No, totally. Like I would just like use it as an opportunity to like go on a vacation.
Exactly.
And just like chill in a beautiful home.
You find
and like, wait, do they do this on? Because every time I watch Love Is Blind, I think it's so funny how like every time they're drinking, it's out of like the same like gold wine glass. Like they could be drinking anything. And it's in the same glass. And I'm really curious at why that is because it's not even like a branded cup. It's just like. They're always drinking out of the same cups. It's like they do that in Love Is Blind, or they do that in Love Island too, right? Because they're always like drinking out of their like water bottles and stuff.
I do know, like Netflix just has like a thing. Like each show has like their own color glasses.
Interesting.
Like on my show, we had like those gold ones.
Okay.
We had like white ones.
Interesting.
And then on the show Ultimatum, I think it's silver.
Did they say why? That's so weird.
I think they just like. They were like, "Ooh, this is a good little gimmick."
Yeah, just like drinking anything out of a wine glass.
And there's like we're just gonna run with this, and they have like this little like mascot that's like a big gold cup.
Okay, well,
I don't know.
You know, it's working. It's creating conversation. Yeah. So
yeah, I'm not part of the marketing team.
You're like it's.
You know what I'm
saying?
I just got picked up out of a warehouse to date women. I have nothing to do with the promotional side of things.
Got it. Yep. I love that.
Your discography, like, are all your songs kind of inspired by relationships?
I'd say like definitely a lot, but not all. There's a song on my new album called Hypothetical Party that's like kind of about social anxiety. And it's like, I want to go to a party where it's quiet, where nobody's around and I'm fine kind of energy.
Yeah.
So that's about like social anxiety. I wrote a song for my sister that's called Becky's Brother. I wrote a song, I guess, about like third wheeling. It's called Backseat Driver, which is kind of about like being single, but less about like being in a relationship.
Yeah.
There's a song called I Don't Know Shit. That's just about how I don't know shit, you know? So I feel like, you know, relationships are something that like I'll always write about for sure. Yeah. But I think it is important to expand, I think, and talk about other things because there also is like a lot to life, you know, that's just like being a human that's worth writing about.
Can I go golden retriever real quick? Because I've never had a one-on-one with a songwriter, and I just want to like ask some questions and stuff like that.
Please.
Okay. What's like your favorite lyric you've ever written? Let's go. Like, I want to know yours. I'll tell you my favorite lyric, and then let's assess.
Ooh, that's a really good question. There's a song called Unburnable on my new album that I really love. I wrote it with an incredible artist, writer, Maddie Diaz, and it was produced and co-written as well by this guy, Mikey Reeves, and it's one of my favorite songs. And it's just about like how there are things that like you may hold on to from ex relationships that aren't necessarily something you want to burn. Mm-hmm. Some things are unburnable, and it's okay to hold on to certain things. When I say in the song, it's what I had to go through to be the man that I am for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that lyric because I think that so many people going into relationships are really like threatened by like your other person's like past relationships. And I think it's important to remember that like all of those relationships like went into like this person who you are now seeing, you know, and it's like it made them who they are, and everything is meant to be, and every relationship, good or bad, was meant to happen because you learn something about yourself in every relationship you experience. And so, yeah, I really like that lyric a lot. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Tell me yours.
For me, my favorite lyric that I've ever written is, we have this song called Drowning, and the chorus goes, if you see me drowning, throw more water in the ocean. I don't need your pity, please. I'd rather leave these wounds wide open. And to me, that was like, I was in a really dark place at that time, and it was just like the imagery of that. It was such a dark lyric of like the image of like being in an ocean and you're drowning, and that person, you would rather have that person like take a bucket of water and throw it into the ocean
Totally.
than to come and save me. And it was like this. That song was like kind of what I was saying, was the self-awareness and the self-accountability of like, that's the person I am. I understand why I am that way. It's like, I like wallowing in my own sadness. Like, that's what depression is to me. It's
That's
like,
great. I mean, that's not great, but the lyric is great.
yeah, it's a fire lyric that
I
came
love
out of
that.
depression. But like, it's like that imagery of like, depression isn't like, you know, it's like,
yeah,
and it's not like something you could just win. It's like a constant battle.
totally.
And that's what it feels like. Like, depression is like you feel like you're spiraling and you can't get out, and you kind of become comfortable in being miserable and being sad. And when people want to help you, you push them away.
Absolutely.
Because you're comfortable here.
Absolutely.
And the first step to getting out of depression is wanting to be saved, is wanting to get help.
So true.
That's how you start the battle. Second favorite line, right, on a lighter note, is, you ever write a lyric that doesn't make any sense but it just sounds good?
Oh, absolutely.
So I have this one lyric,
Tell me.
and it goes, bite my lightning, tell me how it tastes. No
But
idea.
I think that's
Don't know
cool.
it's cool as we're like, that bar's kind of hard. Don't know what it means.
But it's like, but that's what's cool about songwriting, is that like like a bunch of different people are going to take like different meanings from that one line. And I think that's cool. I think actually, I was talking about this in a session the other day. You know, I think that it's really important to like write lyrics that are like really accessible and, you know, like conversational, so that like, you know, your listener can really like understand your experience and what you're feeling. But I also think that it's not a bad thing to make your listeners think a little bit. Like, if it means that they like Google search the lyrics to kind of examine them and analyze them, like, I think that's cool. They're spending more time like wanting to understand your world and like wanting to like take something you said and apply it to like something that they're going through. And I think that that's actually a cool thing. And I think it's good to kind of give your listeners homework and kind of, you know, look deeper into those lyrics, you know?
What's your like songwriting process? Are you like do you have like a songbook? Do you use that? Or are you kind of like, you just get in the studio, catch a vibe, and then write? Do you have to hear the song? Do you have to like hear the beat first? Do you have to like?
It really depends. Like, I definitely think a lot of the time, and every song is different, I think concepts come to me, and then I'll walk into the room with like a title or a concept and kind of like an idea of where I want to go. But normally it's like a title or something. Usually, again, like sometimes things are different, but after I have that concept and like the producer starts like looping some sort of progression, I usually do melody first. It just comes to me really quickly and more naturally, I think, than lyrics. It takes me more time to like really figure out what I want to say and like how I want to say it. But melody usually comes like pretty quick. So I'll usually like melody map a little bit and then like fill it in with lyrics and kind of do it that way. But again, like sometimes I won't even have a concept. So I'll walk into the studio and I'll almost be anxious about like not knowing what I want to say that day. But then I end up talking with my co-writers and somebody says something cool. And I'm like, that's what we're writing today, you know? And that's also such a cool experience too, to see how you can make something out of like not knowing what direction you want it to go in that day.
Yeah.
So it's all different, but, yeah, I don't have like a songbook. I just use my voice memos on my phone.
Yeah.
Like, so like my phone is like filled with just like hundreds of like random voice notes, just like recording melodies and stuff.
Yeah. And my third question,
I'm ready,
as a songwriter, is, when you're creating music or you need inspiration, is there one thing you kind of romanticize and always come back to, or a vice? Like, I'll give you an example. Like, for myself and my band, a vice that we have that we romanticize is like, we're outside the studio and like we'll just have a cigarette.
Okay. Yeah.
And like we'll just like get into our like,
sure.
life sucks, dude. Like,
sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like we've romanticized the idea of being a musician and like having like a glass of wine and a cigarette and like kind of like just setting the tone that way. And then I find that's become like sort of like a creative crutch for us that we've since like toned down, like we've since cut down, but it's kind of like it became this like creative crutch for us. I'm curious if you have anything when you not expired, or is there a vice that you come down to? Do you need like a little cocktail to kind of get you going?
Probably weed. It's weed for me.
Yeah.
Like I definitely like, I love getting high, and I wrote a song called "I Get High" on my new album, and it's more of like a stripped, kind of sadder sounding song. But I was in Michigan with some really good friends last summer, like doing a writing retreat, and I was like I had writer's block. I didn't know what I wanted to say that day, and so we just like lit a joint and we started smoking a little bit, and as I was getting higher, I was like, I've never written about how I love getting high, and I think I should write about that.
That's such a high thought.
And so it actually like turned into a song too. But I think for me, yeah, like sometimes like, you know, like smoking a joint or like, wine. Like wine is always a good time when you're like on a retreat and just like want to get like the creative juices flowing. I love like getting a place in like the desert or the mountains with my friends and just like writing songs for a week. Like that's like my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah.
And it's just, our time to kind of like write music on our own time and just live and all of that. But yes, weed has often been a vice, as you are describing. And if you want to hear "I Get High," it's on the new album.
Yeah,
Check it out.
It's kind of like this like aesthetic of like being a musician. That kind of like,
that's funny that you're saying that. Like, I think that's funny because I've never thought about it that way. But then like now that I'm thinking about it, it's like you just want to seem like the angsty artist that's like sad and like has you know
like,
what I mean? I get that.
Literally like that's the reason why like I grew my hair. It's like I want like I was like I want my eyes covered. Like when people see me out and they're like I walked into a couple of Ubers and they're like, you make music or something?
You're like, maybe.
I'm like, yes. I don't know if it's me creating music. It's more so I call it expression.
Oh yeah, it's all expression.
It's just like I'm just kind of just like saying how I feel.
The hair
and the world just kind of like likes it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. that it's the self-deprecating artist way. Yes. I feel you.
I grew up as like I was like an emo kid growing up. Like
I love that.
I grew up like I was like a skater, emo. I've been painting my nose since like 10 years old.
Have
like
you
MCR.
like experimented with like more like punky kind of stuff?
Yeah, my band is like alternative pop punk band.
Cool.
Like we started out doing like more like indie. We tried to do like when we started, we were like, oh, we're gonna be like James Blake meets like Frank Ocean meets like lo-fi vinyl like scratches in the background, like real lo-fi. And then we were like, dude, we're Blink-182
like
kids.
Stick
like
to our roots.
We're punk kids. Like what are we doing? And then we just like straight up just became a pop punk band.
Okay, well I think we should write a pop punk song at some point. You and me.
Oh hell yeah,
that would be fun.
Yeah,
I love like working in like the punk space. I think that's so fun. Like Avril was my first concert. Like she was like my queen growing up. I wanted to be her so bad. So yeah, let's do it.
Oh hell yeah, dude. Let's lock it in.
We'll lock it in. Oh,
pinkies.
It's locked. It's happening.
Okay, now let's answer some fan advice questions. Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
Are you good at giving advice?
I'd like to think so. I like giving advice that I never take myself. That seems to be like the ongoing theme.
Yeah, that's a constant theme on this podcast. A lot of people say that. We just
I'll say some stuff, but
we drop some bars, but we never take it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's give it a go.
All right. I have been texting with a guy for a month, and I have feelings for him, but I have a boyfriend. What should I do?
I mean, honey. Seems like there's something wrong in the relationship.
Yeah.
So I think the first thing to do is kind of assess your current relationship, see how it's serving you. Is it sparking joy for you? What are you gaining from it? And I think from there you will know what to do. I don't know, right?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, this is just like why?
It seems like you're unhappy.
Yeah, that's always the worst part. I feel like though too is like, feel for that boyfriend, man.
Yeah. No. Like, does he suck?
Yeah.
Like, what's his vibe? Like, is he just like not giving you what you need? Like, we need to assess. Yeah.
Communication. Like, what can you not get from your boyfriend that has you feeling for some guy?
You're right. Yeah.
And also for like a month is a long time.
No,
that's like 30
that's a
days.
long time. I think we need to assess, babe. I think we need to have a convo with the boy and just like kind of take it from there.
Yeah,
that sounds like kind of like emotional cheating, right?
Yeah, that's 100% emotional cheating. For a month?
Yeah, texting someone for a month, especially like I
if
guess
I'm that boyfriend, I'm sick. If I'm like,
I'd be so upset.
If I'm like, whoa, that's how long you been texting this guy? Oh, like a month. What?
Yeah, that's a long time. Sorry if this wasn't the advice you wanted.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
what should I do? Stop.
Yeah, you might want to chat with boy. Let's chat with boy. I think that's the plan.
What is the best way to ask someone out who you've never talked to before? This is where my intrusive thoughts kick in.
I'm like, so what are these intrusive thoughts? I'm curious.
I'll just I love you.
Oh wow, we're going straight for it.
Yeah,
done.
That's like my thing. I'm trying to stop that. I'm trying to get more creative with my approach. Yeah, I'm trying to switch that up. I'm a big just like, love you.
I think boldness is hot.
Yeah.
Like, if someone came up to me that I've never met before and they were like, I love you, I'd be like, good, how are you? Good, how are you?
Well, I'm not like eyes wide. I love you. It's not like wide open. No, it's like I wear them down with I love yous.
Yeah, you know? I mean, I'd fall quick. I'd say follow your advice.
Yeah.
Boldness, just be bold.
But how would you approach somebody?
Well, I think that's the thing with like, especially like being in LA, like I feel like there can be like such this energy of like who are you kind of thing. And I feel like people forget like that's how people met each other back in the day before there were apps, before there was anything. People would approach someone at a bar being like, we should go out.
Yeah.
And I think that's hot. And if you're afraid of approaching someone because you don't want them to think that like you're weird or creepy or whatever, like if you're just being like nice and chill, like approach someone. I think that's hot. I'd be so turned on if someone came up to me and they were like, I want to take you out. Like, what's your name? Like, I want to know more about you. I'd be like, I like the confidence, confidence is hot. Oh,
yeah, that's not me.
Really? From what you described, it sounded like that there must be confidence in there.
Nah, it's not like, it's more like love yous. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like one recently, it was actually in Chicago. I was talking to somebody and like she worked at the place and it was like, love you. And she was like, okay. And
she'll remember you though.
And then I was like, love you. Okay. And every time I see her, I'd be like, love you. She's like, okay. And then eventually said, love you. She's like, love you too.
There we go.
Like, got him.
You're in. No, like it's a way to remember you.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like stay in their mind, Yeah.
I also just have this like I guess because people now know who I am, it's kind of like I have this preconceived notion about myself. So It's like some shit just doesn't work anymore. If I try to be bold, it's like, what are you doing? You're Dom, the awkward boy.
No.
And it's like, the is that? Like I legitimately, like we had like a kissing challenge on my show.
Okay.
And I got like 8 out of 10 and everyone was like, oh, your kisses are safe and like you have a really safe, reliable, comforting kiss.
Okay.
And I'm like, God damn it, no. Like like you want your kisses
you don't want an 8, like you want a 10.
Yeah, I want like a 10.
Okay.
Like I'm a good fucking kisser.
Yeah.
I do this. I'm like, what do you want me to just go straight tongue? I'm like, and also
you have to ease into it.
Yeah, and I'm like, also let it happen. Just like let it happen.
Right.
Just like, you know what I mean?
You can't be too calculated.
Yeah, you can't just like go on the basketball court and then just like windmill. You know what I mean?
No, totally.
It's like dribble up court. You know what I mean? Get to the net first.
No, I agree.
It's like that thing of like, you know what people are like astrology, for example. It's like, oh, you're a Cancer. Like, oh, you're moody. You're moody. And I'm like, well, I'm not moody. I'm like, no, I'm not. It's like, are you getting angry? I'm like, no, I'm not angry.
Where are you, Cancer?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why we vibe. I'm a
Oh,
Pisces. I'm a water sign too.
I thought you were about to be like, got it.
No,
I
have Cancer in my chart too, so we're emotional beings.
I'm not emotional. I'm just highly
You're
emotionally
intelligent. You're a little sensitive.
See, and now I look sensitive after this entire thing.
I love it. No, it's gonna be good. You're gonna have your.
I'm gonna get to practicing.
Yeah, there we go.
I need to find somebody to just be like my kissing person.
No,
I don't need. No,
you got no. I'm like, you got it, dude. Like, you got it. You have the skills.
I don't like. I'm thinking too much.
You're overthinking now.
I'm overthinking now. I don't know.
I'm dying. I hope that you've like kiss someone to. What would you call that? Someone to practice your kissing on. Your.
Just like a trainer.
your kissing
I need
trainer.
like a personal kissing trainer, just to let me know how to. I need to get that 8 to a 10. I gotta work on something.
I wish you nothing but luck.
Yeah, maybe it's just.
I believe in you.
Yeah, maybe it's like I have literally like big lips. Maybe it's hard to maneuver those. You know.
No, that's big lips is like that's like the best. If someone has like nice lips, that makes kissing so much fun.
Apparently not.
No, I'm like you're gonna be great. Like you'll be fine. Trust.
Anyways, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I loved talking about music and kissing with you.
Yeah. Are you a good kisser?
I'd like to think so.
Have you been told you're a good kisser?
I have been told I'm a good kisser.
Yeah.
I think like being more of like a sensitive person, like I like a good passionate kiss. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, it's a vibe. I mean, if you've kissed me before, sound off.
Yeah. If you've kissed me before, please send in a review. Please, I need the validation. Just be like, no, it was good. It was good.
Yelp for kissing.
Nah. Someone make a TikTok video, be like, I kissed Dom once and it was great.
There we go.
Just lie if you haven't. Just lie.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have anything you want to share? Anything coming up? Anything you want to promote?
I mean, thank you again for having me. You can follow me at JORDY Music, and stream the new album. And yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think we covered so many
album,
things.
Boy.
Yeah, Boy. The new album, Boy. You can hear a bunch of songs, 12 songs, full-length album, and hopefully playing some shows this fall. So stay tuned.
All right, I better get some VIP tickets.
Oh, you're on the list, babe.
I want to be like backstage.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
All right.
You'll be there.
Thanks everyone for listening and tuning in. Don't forget to follow, rate, and review Dom Meets Real wherever you get your podcasts, and subscribe to Past Your Bedtime on YouTube for full video episodes. We'll see you next week. Bye.